Pro-Palestine demonstrations are happening at universities all across the country, including, in fact, right here in the Mid-South.
Now, there are just a few demonstrations, including some like the ones in New York City, where a number of Columbia students have already been arrested. Now, yesterday, protesters showed up at Vanderbilt in Nashville wearing masks. They were carrying flags. And who can forget when traffic was blocked between Memphis and West Memphis after demonstrators blocked the I-40 bridge during construction on the old I-55 bridge.
Free Palestine!
We want Trump! We want Trump! We want Trump!
Soon after, a crowd of hundreds of counter-protesters showed up.
Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu gives us a look at the demonstration there and how it was mostly peaceful.
An Ole Miss spokesperson says there were no arrests and no injuries during this protest, but police had to get involved and break it up when people on both sides threw things at each other.
I've never been part of protests or even seen a protest. So when I came out here, I was like, well, you know, it's kind of cool.
The beginning of the end of Ole Miss's pro-Palestine protest was caught on camera. Students on both sides were seen throwing water bottles and food at each other before police sent everyone home. Hours later, the ground was still littered with pieces of bread.
They were throwing the bread and stuff that the university gave them. So we started throwing it back to them, and that's when things got a little heated.
One student told Fox 13 he was part of the counter-protest and watched the whole situation come apart. In a statement, an Ole Miss spokesperson told Fox 13 it's committed to protecting its students' freedom of speech and that protesters on both sides were given warnings before the demonstration was put to a peaceful end.
You can't take over our campus like the other campuses in the north. This is a southern campus where we believe in God and Jesus, and we don't stand for that.
Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves also weighed in on the situation, writing in a post to Facebook that law enforcement was ready to take action if things got out of hand. He later shared a video of counter-protesters singing the national anthem. Some students who watched the situation play out say they feel the counter-protest was too extreme a response for a group of people who were just trying to speak their minds.
A lot of the people who were in the middle, who the pro-Palestinian side, are people I see all the time in my building and my program. It was really hard to see people I know and really appreciate and respect just being yelled at with things that don't really make sense.
I reached out to the pro-Palestine organizers on Instagram but did not hear back. You can read the full statement from Governor Reeves and Ole Miss on our website, FOX13Memphis.com. In Oxford, Jack Bilyeu, Fox 13 News.
Now, this was the scene yesterday in Nashville. Pro-Palestinian marchers walked from Centennial Park onto the Vanderbilt campus. The group was made up of Vanderbilt students and workers standing in solidarity, we're told. The Jewish Federation says they support peaceful protests like this, and this march remained peaceful. Students at Vanderbilt still have their encampment on campus as their way of protesting and showing their support for Palestine. A 75-cent property tax hike. That's a hot topic right now across Memphis.
Fox 13's Lakia Scott is joining us live tonight from City Hall. Lakia, the city is still trying to decide whether that increase will happen.